What happens when one of America's biggest airports shuts down one of its runways, loses air traffic staff, suffers a major software malfunction, and is running on phone lines from the last century? Well, you get Newark Liberty International Airport in May of 2025. Thousands of travelers stuck, delays stretching for hours, airlines scrambling to rebook passengers, and public confidence shot. But now the Department of Transportation is stepping in big time, and Secretary Sean Duffy says he's not waiting for another committee hearing to fix this. His team is working day and night to bring Newark back online and back to safety. So stick around, guys, because this story doesn't just stop in New Jersey. So my name's Tom. I'm with the Daily Beltway and publisher of the Illinois Review, and I'm White House correspondent for the Next News Network. Today, I'm walking you through the massive operational failure at Newark Liberty International Airport and what's being done to fix it before the summer travel season explodes. And this impacts every major airport. So let's start with the facts. Over the past month, Newark has experienced one of the worst performance stretches in U.S. airport history. Flight delays piled up by the hundreds, a key runway shut down for construction, air traffic controllers understaffed. And to make matters worse, a software glitch inside the FAA's traffic coordination system disrupted communications between towers and pilots. That might be important, just a little bit. So let's go ahead and check this out. Secretary Duffy is explaining what he's doing to fix this absolute cluster.
Actually, Verizon has been a great partner. They are laying fiber. They are putting fiber in the ground, and it's actually going to go from Philly to New York, and then New York to Newark. So it's happening now. It's going to be done in short order. Now it has to be tested, right? We want to test the lines and make sure there's no issues within the telecom.
When do you see you've capped flights at Newark, and that should help reduce the congestion, and the runway opens up soon? How long until we start to see some of the improvements purely on the air traffic control side? You know, the staffing is acute because you have people on leave, but also this fiber line. When does it start to get better?
So what's key with Newark is that there was frustration because you'd book a flight and then you'd be 5 hours delayed. So because we reduced the capacity and the airlines have all cooperated with us on that, if you book your flight, you're going to fly, right? That's what we wanted to have happen. And
that's a key thing. So the airlines and the airports, they set capacity. They say, hey, we can handle 5,000 flights a day. And that's why you see delays everywhere. They stepped in, they're like, you can't handle 5,000 flights a day. I'm just using a random number. So let's say it's 1,000. You say you can't handle 1,000. You guys are on 5-hour delays. So let's say your capacity is now 400 instead of the 1,000. That's relieving the stress and pushing forward. That's an action I don't know how nobody took up until this point. Good job, Pete Buttigieg.
It's been reduced about 50%. In the middle of June, I think we're going to get to 60% capacity of Newark. But with air traffic controllers, it's going to take time. We have to train them up. But I think what's key is we've offered a bonus to air traffic controllers who are eligible to retire. We're going to pay them 20% bonus on their salary to stay longer, don't retire. And so as we bring more air traffic controllers in and keep the older experienced controllers, we're going to be able to make up that difference. But it does take time. It's going to take us months, if not years, to make up the difference.
And with Newark specifically, you've got those controllers who took trauma leave.
Right.
Do you expect them to be back on the job sometime this summer?
Yeah, I think they'll come back, and we're training up new people inside that facility as well. So again, we're going to bring more people into the facility. You asked me about the telecom line.
Yeah.
I think, I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but I think the telecom portion should be laid by the end of this month. No.
That's another thing we're going to get into in a little bit is the communication systems and the computers are literally 40, 50 years old. It's terrifying that they're flying all these people around and this is the best we have. It's terrifying.
It might take us another month to test it. So I think telecom is going to be resolved by the end of June for Newark. And then the runway that is under construction right now is supposed to be completed by the middle of June. They're doing, amazing work. They're going day and night. They're working 7.
So, behind the scenes, the DOT is pushing telecom contractors to move faster. Verizon's laying fiber optic cable between Philadelphia and New York and Newark to replace the outdated copper lines that keep dropping vital flight communications. That upgrade is scheduled to wrap up by the end of this month with live testing in June. At the same time, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey is racing to reopen that shut down runway, with crews working 24/7, trying to hit a mid-June deadline. That one piece alone could cut delays in half. The FAA is also dealing with a serious staff crisis. Newark needs 38 certified controllers. Right now, they only have 24. Some are out on trauma leave, others are retiring faster than replacements can be trained. The DOT is offering retention bonuses and has new hires in the pipeline, but Secretary Duffy admitted it could take a year to fully rebuild. We don't want people being rushed into something that where millions of lives depend on. It's probably a good idea. So let's talk safety. So far, no crashes or injuries linked to this meltdown, but let's not pretend this was harmless. Arrival rates were cut at Newark to prevent near misses, and when a system starts breaking, every missed message or delayed clearance raises the stakes. Then there's the cost. The delays are racking up billions of dollars in lost wages, missed connections, hotel vouchers, and operational losses for airlines. Families are missing graduations, business travelers are canceling deals. This is the real world consequences. Now, Secretary Duffy's updates have gotten some pushback online. Critics say we're throwing Band-Aids on a broken infrastructure and still running airports like it's 1995. Some truth to that. But the fiber optics, the staffing changes, and the runway work, those aren't press releases, that's boots on the ground. If the DOT, Verizon, and Port Authority hold up to the timeline, Newark could be stabilized by mid-June with major improvements in place by July. That's aggressive, but it's doable. And again, I live in Chicago. O'Hare's right down the street. They're just as bad. I fly when I cover the White House with the Next News. I'm in and out of DCA, which is Reagan, which is right next to like DC proper. And it's just as bad. If there's one little delay anywhere, it's a cascading effect that messes it all up. And DCA had that horrific crash. I think it was in January where the helicopter got into an airplane. And that was because air traffic controllers, there was like 4 people and they should have had 16 people on that night. And this is happening all across the country. This isn't a Trump problem. It's not a Biden problem. It's not a Trump 1 problem. It's an Obama problem where they started reducing the incentives for these people to go to school and get the money for it. I'm going to continue on this, but so if you guys got value from this report, hit the subscribe button, like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments. We're fighting for real news in a free republic, and your voice does matter here. So here's what this boils down to. Newark broke down because no one updated the basics. Communication lines failed, staffing fell short, and when the FAA software glitched, there wasn't a backup. Now, Secretary Duffy didn't point fingers. He rolled up his sleeves. He's getting work crews on the ground, pushing real upgrades and focusing on safety before spin. And that's what the public service is supposed to look like. We're a republic built on efficiency, trust, and accountability. When you book a flight, you should land on time, not sit on tarmac for 6 hours wondering if anyone in Washington is awake. Or if people are just making money, they don't care about our experience. Sorry about that. The good news, some of them finally are. Newark's getting back on its feet, and maybe, just maybe, this is the start of something bigger. A return to competence. We'll be watching, and I'm going to update this as the summer goes on and how this is going. My name's Tom, the Daily Beltway, guys. God bless.